Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to do a sweep up snare sound. So this sound is used popularly in kind of drum step, dubstep, that kind of slow, heavy electronic music sound. So this is what it sounds like. So it's got that kind of sweeping up sound into the snare drum just to kind of bring it out of the mix just that little bit more. But yeah, so big artists like Skrillex, Koan Sound, Zedd uses it quite a lot just to add extra character to your to the snare sound. So I'm going to show you how to make this. So first off, what you need a decent snare sound. So the best way to get this is either get a Vengeance sample pack, which are incredible for these style of music, or get Splice. Splice isn't too expensive, you just pay for what you use, and all the sounds are incredible, and you only get what you want. Rather than a sample pack, you might only use 30% of it, whereas Splice, you use 100% what you pay for. But yeah, so we're going to learn how to make this sound. So let's say we've got this snare sound. So this is from a Vengeance sample pack. A little bit boring, so we're going to add a little bit extra to it. So what we want to do, we want to right click on this and we want to click bounce into place. Let's make this a bit shorter, we don't need it to be that long. Okay, we want new track, and we want it to, I've lost my mouse, where's it gone? Okay, so we've got new track, we want to leave, and we want to normalize it because we want the quiet part of the snare to come as loud as it can, so it can mix it a little bit easier. Okay, so we've got that, so that's all ready to go. That will bounce out into place, and here you can see, I'm going to mute the top one. We've got a snare as audio, nice and loud. So what we want to do, we want to double click this, and you see you've got two options. You've got track and we've got file. Go to file, and then you want to go to function, and you want to click reverse, and then you should have a reverse snare. Sounds really weird, but what we're going to do, we're going to drag this to the front. We're going to zoom in so we can see what we're doing a little bit clearly, and we want the scissor tool. So let's go to the scissor tool. Let's cut that so it's right there, and we've got that kind of like brush sound. And if we unmute the original snare sound, we've kind of got it, but what we want to do, we want to add a little bit of crossover. So we're going to drag it a little bit further forward, and then what we want to do, we want to go back to the tools. We're going to go to fade tool, click the fade tool, and we want to just fade it off a little bit at the end. There we go. Now it suddenly sounds a little bit more like a decent sounding snare that you would use in a track. Okay, so now the only thing it's missing is that tail end that we've got on this track here. Cool. So what we want to do now, we want to make white noise. So you can do this with a synthesizer, a really simple synthesizer or whatever, or you can get it from samples. If you've got Splice, just type in white noise and you'll get it. And you want something that sounds a little bit like this. Okay, so the way I've made this, I've used Massive. It's a little bit of an overkill synth to use for this. You don't really need to use this. But basically what I've done is I've just selected the white noise, and then what I've done, I've just filtered it with a high pass filter and just enveloped it a little bit and added a bit of reverb, a little bit of distortion to bring it out a little bit more. And that is pretty much it. It's dead simple. And the envelope is just like a piano style, so hard attack, long delay, zero sustain, and long release. And then we've got it, and it is that sound. Okay, so what we want to do, we want this as audio again. So what we want to do, we want to right click, bounce into place again. This time we're going to mute, We want normalize off because the volume we've got there for that sound is proficient to mix with, and we don't want it to be pushed too hard in the mix. Okay, so we got that. And then we have, where is it? Let's have a look. Much better. So we've suddenly got it. Obviously it needs mixing a little bit, so let's mix it. Something a little bit more usable. Okay, so obviously doing it this way is going to be really, really long because you have to copy and paste all these together. And if you don't copy them together, it's going to be a nightmare. You want, every time you hit that snare, you want to be able to do that. So what I do, I use Battery 4. Battery 4 is incredible. It's from Native Instruments. It's just a drum sample software, and you can layer things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag in my sample. So I've got a file already open here with all the audio in it. So I've just dragged that into there. And what I've done is I've changed the attack so it's slow, because normally it's like this. And the reason I've done that, and I've not done it in the synthesizer originally, is just because on Battery I could change it. If I want it a little bit more attack, I can add that. If I change my mind, I can do that. Whereas if I've done it in the synthesizer, I can't add any more attack. So you can always take off attack in audio, but you can't add it. It's very difficult. You've got to have something else. So by doing that, it means that I can change it as I go. Find that sweet spot with the mix. So obviously I've got that, and then what I like to do, because I don't like it with every single snare sound, so I can assign it to a button. And let's mute the audio. And we've got our sound. And also what I can do, because it's a nice long tail, I can make the tail longer. So let's try that. So now the sample is completely usable and ready to go. The only thing is with the reverse, you do need to drag it in, and obviously I've done it here. But yeah, that's about it. Personally, I like to have everything in MIDI as much as I can, and I have multiple outputs for those. But that's it, guys. That is how to get a reverse snare sound similar to Skrillex or similar to Koan Sound, those kind of guys. If you've got any other questions, anything that you've been wrestling with that you think, oh, I wonder how this person does this, drop me a message in the comments. I'd love to give it a go, see if I can recreate that for you and show you how I've done it. Cool, guys. Well, while I'm recording this, it is during the coronavirus pandemic, so I'm wishing you all the best and all you all safety in this time. And yeah, keep making music and enjoy this time that you've got behind the computer to just bash out the beats. Cool, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon.